fighting. He's fighting, he's innocent, and he's going to be able to show it.
I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult housing conditions.
Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, has given up on trying to get Diddy out after Judge Aaron Superan revealed what Diddy had been doing to witnesses. A leaked call between Diddy and his children involved witness tampering was just played in court, and Diddy is never getting bail. The court has evaluated each of the factors that it must consider under the relevant law, including the nature and circumstances of the offense charge, the weight of the evidence against the person, the history and characteristics of the person, and the nature and seriousness of the danger that would be posed by the person's release. The court has also reviewed the information submitted by Coles and the government across all 3 bail hearings in this case. Sean Combs was denied bail both by a magistrate judge and a district court judge. Judge Submania writes that the government has shown by clear and convincing evidence that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of the community. The chances of Diddy getting out before his trial in May 2025 are 0. Judge Submanian cited CLE clear and convincing evidence that Combs poses a danger to the community and a significant risk of witness tampering. Diddy's lawyers had prepared a comprehensive bail package that involved Diddy surrendering his passports and paying almost $50 million. But the judge still denied him bail. The government said that Diddy had displayed a clear intention to engage in witness tampering and was sure that Diddy would be a threat to both victims and witnesses if he was allowed to go outside. Diddy was also prepared to give up his house in exchange for a chance at bail, a $50 million bond co-signed by him, his mom, sister, mother of his oldest daughter, and his 3 adult sons. The bond will be secured by the equity in his property in Miami, Florida. Diddy's passport will be surrendered, and the government said that it is insufficient. The strongest argument in terms of bail is that Diddy's counsel has done the best they possibly can. Bringing him there voluntarily is very smart, starting them off on the right foot. However, the allegation of interfering with witnesses might tip the scales in favor of not letting him out pending trial. Judges take an extraordinarily dim view of this, and judges take an extraordinarily dim view of that. In conclusion, Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, believes that his actions have been a significant factor in his case. He has been preparing a bail package and ensuring that Diddy gets out of jail before his trial in May 2025. The case of rapper Diddy Combs is a complex and contentious one, with the government and his supporters fighting for his innocence. Combs has been under investigation for at least 6 months and has done everything possible to prove his innocence. He has been able to show his innocence through a leaked call between him and his son Christian Combs, which was allegedly presented in court by the prosecutors. The only way for Diddy to get bail is if he has dirt on a judge. Combs supporters believe in him wholeheartedly, as he did not commit any coercion or crimes in his 10-year relationship. He is now a witness in a criminal case and will fight with everything they have. The government's presentation today does not change anyone's mind about Combs' innocence. They believe in his wholeheartedness and that he did not do these things, as it was a civil case and now he is a witness in a criminal case. They are determined to fight this case with everything they have, and eventually, they will be shown to be innocent. However, the story also raises concerns about the potential silence of victims who speak out against him. Diddy is wealthy enough to buy silence and powerful enough to force it when money isn't working. He forced Cassie to take down her case, even though she had video evidence that she was a witness. Gandeal has made a horrifying prediction that Diddy might soon be getting bail, shocking everyone standing against him. He believes that the government is trying to use impromptu searches to get Diddy's case off the ground. They have found out that Diddy was using other inmates' phone cards, which is likely happening all the time. The judge will want to know what their lawyers did when they found Diddy was in violation of some of the things they were charging with. The government's actions have been criticized for their lack of transparency and the potential for false accusations. The alleged actions of rapper Bell Diddy have led to a series of events that may shock the world. The judge has held off on the proceedings, and it is expected that he will revisit the case next week. Bell is accused of using Dr. Pepper and engaging in witness tampering, even though his calls are being recorded. The Fed caught them on Bell's person and in his room. The first judge, who was not ready to handle Bell, questioned why Bell had to go to another judge. They believed Bell had enough time to clean himself up and start doing the right thing. Bell's lawyers were not going to fight against each other, as none of Bell's circumstances had changed since the first trial. The attention the bad press and the attention he has been getting have made matters worse. A raid was conducted on Bell's cell using the information recorded on the calls he was making. This raid revealed crucial information regarding the case and exposed Diddy's handwritten notes, which had an alleged confession. Diddy believed that no one could ride his cell, but since this raid was using evidence that Diddy himself had revealed, it was legal. Diddy is now trying to get in contact with witnesses, as he believes that they were recording in CS. The judge is trying to get a gag order on social media to prevent anyone from discussing his cases or his case. Private investigators have been hired to go out and tell content creators that if they stop, they will pay. The judge is not trying to stop people's freedom of speech, but his lawyers are trying to get a gag order on social media. They have also been hiring private investigators to go to content creators and ask them if they were paid to talk about Diddy or if they received money to do any kind of content regarding his cases. In conclusion, the ongoing investigation into Diddy's actions and the potential consequences for him and his empire is concerning. The judge's actions may lead to a significant loss of power and influence over the lives of those involved in his case. The text describes the ongoing investigation into Diddy's alleged involvement in the murder of Jay-Z and Beyoncé. The conversation revolves around the guards being closely monitored, as they were said to be on a cell phone. The guards are being closely monitored because they were supposed to be brought up on charges for falsifying records. Sources close to Diddy are speaking out about the case, receiving calls from people who claim to be talking on behalf of Diddy. Jay-Z and Beyoncé sent a cease and desist order to Piers Morgan after he aired a show that alleged that Jay-Z and Beyoncé might be linked to Diddy. The news came out that his former being made from dirty money, and she called another group member 58 times, trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy. Diddy tried to get someone to reach out to him, but he was not given the call. Instead, he received a phone call from Kirk Burrs, one of the Puff dudes who is close to him. Kirk told him that he wanted to reach out to Eugene, who had been with Puff since day one. He said that he had nothing to say to him. As more evidence is coming up against Diddy, everyone that Diddy wronged is finally rising up against him and getting ready to testify. The statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. After testifying before the grand jury, Kirk answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, many appeared to be either inebriated or under the influence of drugs. All 8 were victims or perpetrators, and some of them seemed to be potentially minors. The text suggests that all 8 were victims or perpetrators, and that they were inebriated right not knowing how much proof it was in their actions. Over 36 lawsuits have been filed against Diddy all over the country, in both federal and state courts. The authors intend to name people in these lawsuits without doing due diligence, as these allegations are hurtful to people if they are not true. They anticipate that they will start filing lawsuits, and they have a long list of names to choose from. In the ongoing legal battle against Diddy, there are numerous instances where individuals have been accused of participating in his criminal activities. These incidents have raised questions about the legitimacy of the accusations and the potential for a public lawsuit. For example, a minor was allegedly made to perform oral sex by Sean Combs, who would make him a star if he visited with him privately. Another incident involved a 15-year-old girl who was drugged and taken into a private room with Combs, who then took turns. Another individual, 26, was picked up by Combs and several others in a black SUV from the airport and given one drink in the SUV. She woke up the next day with pain and damage to her vagina and anus, missing her underwear and shoes. Diddy's former bodyguard, a first-hand witness to the events behind the scenes, has stepped forward to expose hidden truths about Diddy. He claims that Diddy has dirt on nearly every prominent figure, leaving the public speechless. The lack of defense from celebrities and friends is due to the money they saw Diddy do to Cassie and his celebrity friends. People are represented by a brand, whether it's music, clothing, or movies, and they pray that they are not on the tape doing crazy stuff being alled up. The Fed has been requesting witnesses to testify against Diddy, but they have not done so yet. This is because they believe Diddy is just a man with a history that is not looking too good for him. The congregation over there is shaken because Diddy did not lead them to damnation. As people always put their faith in the pastor instead of God, they need to understand that Diddy is just a man with a history, and his actions are not looking good for him. CES are worried that they might be on tap, as they know that they are not speaking up or saying nothing. Diddy's legal troubles are deepening his desperate attempts to secure bail, even offering millions in collateral. The court deems him a significant threat to victims, and witnesses with more than 300 individuals prepared to testify and shocking evidence surfacing daily make it clear that this case is far from over. Will Diddy finally face justice, or will his power and influence find a way to tip the scales in his favor?